Have you ever felt like, no matter how hard you try, life just keeps dragging you down? It is as if there is always a voice whispering inside your head, "You are not good enough." The truth is, we are not defeated by circumstances. We are defeated by the thoughts inside our own minds. And in today's story, you will realize that if you do not learn to control your thoughts, they will end up controlling your entire life. Because sometimes just one wrong thought is enough to destroy everything you have worked so hard to build. The main character of this story is Ryan, a bright, hard-working student admired by everyone around him. He always performed well, lived kindly, and acted responsibly. But deep inside, Ryan carried a storm, an invisible fear that followed him every single day. He was afraid of making mistakes, afraid of being judged, afraid that maybe he was not good enough to succeed. Then one day, Ryan was chosen to represent his school in a national competition, an opportunity that could change his entire future. But instead of being excited, Ryan felt terrified. He feared failure. He feared disappointing everyone who believed in him. The closer the competition got, the more Ryan lost control. He could not sleep. Those familiar voices in his head grew louder and louder. You are going to forget everything. Other people are better than you. You do not stand a chance. Day after day, those voices kept echoing. And then the big day arrived. Ryan stood on stage. The lights were blinding. Hundreds of eyes were watching him. But suddenly, his mind went blank. Every word, every piece of knowledge he had prepared vanished. He stood there, frozen. No words came out. No smile could be forced anymore. The room fell silent. Ryan bowed his head, stepped down from the stage, and felt as if his entire world had collapsed. That night, one thought kept haunting him. Maybe I was never meant to do anything great. His confidence shattered. His dream broke apart, and all that was left in his mind was fear. Weeks passed. Ryan almost gave up on everything. He took a part-time job at a small library, a quiet place where he could hide from the noise of the world and the noise in his own head. Every afternoon, there was an elderly man who sat by the window. He read books every day, yet strangely, he never wore glasses. One day, Ryan curiously asked, "I see you reading here every day, but you never wear glasses. Do your eyes not get tired, sir?" The old man smiled. "I do not read with my eyes, son. I read with my mind." Ryan chuckled, thinking he was joking. But the man continued softly, "You know, we cannot stop the birds from flying over our heads, but we can stop them from building nests in our hair." Ryan frowned, not quite understanding. The old man smiled again, gently. "Thoughts are just like those birds. They come and go, you cannot stop them from appearing. But you can choose which ones you keep. And that choice is what creates your life." Ryan said nothing. He did not fully understand, but something deep inside him stirred something real, something he had never felt before. One rainy afternoon, Ryan returned to the library, but the familiar seat by the window was empty. He asked the librarian, "Ma'am, where's the old man who always sat here?" She smiled softly. "Oh, you mean Mr. Collins? He has been blind for many years, dear." Ryan froze. Blind? But he read books every day. The librarian nodded, admiration in her eyes. "Yes," he said, "he reads through memory and imagination. He does not need eyes, only the joy of being surrounded by books." Ryan stood there in silence. And then the old man's words echoed in his mind. "I do not read with my eyes, I read with my mind." That was the moment Ryan finally understood. The old man could not see the world outside, but he saw the world within himself more clearly than anyone else. Ryan whispered, his voice trembling. He was blind, yet lived in peace. And I, with perfect vision, have been living in fear. Tears fell. For the first time, Ryan truly understood what it meant to master one's own thoughts. Months later, Ryan decided to return to the competition the following year. The lights were just as bright, the audience just as crowded, but this time, something inside him had changed. Before stepping on stage, he closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and whispered, "I do not need to control everything. I just need to control myself." He opened his eyes, walked up, and began to speak. His voice no longer trembled. His gaze was calm and confident. Each word flowed naturally, clearly, and full of life. He no longer feared being judged. He no longer feared being wrong. He was simply speaking from the heart. When he finished, the room erupted in applause. But for Ryan, the greatest victory that day was not the prize. It was knowing he had conquered the most dangerous enemy of all, the negative thoughts in his own mind. That day, Ryan learned something. A lesson that all of us need to remember. Life does not change when you change your job, your partner, or your city. Life changes when you change the way you think. Because the most terrifying prison is not the one out there. It is the one inside your mind. And the key has always been in your hands. If this story touched your heart, share it so that someone out there may also find their strength again. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Journey to Greatness for more stories that help you grow stronger every single day.